This is Undercover Legal with attorney Sean R. Richardson of Law Office Nashville, PLLC. Today's undercover legal topic is that of divorce. When people call me about divorce, what do they ask? The first question is usually, how much is it going to cost? To properly answer this question, I need to elicit further information. First, I need to determine whether it's an agreed divorce, where all the terms of the divorce have been agreed to ahead of time, or whether it's contested, where there are issues of contention and the parties cannot agree ahead of time to the terms of the divorce. Specifically, if the divorce is agreed, then the parties can agree to the division of assets, disposition of all the property that they own, and if there are kids, to the parenting time with the kids, other provisions relating to the upbringing of the children. If any provisions cannot be agreed to, then it's contested, and these issues will either have to be litigated or eventually the parties will have to reach a settlement. Agreed divorce currently, without kids, I charge $750. That's a complete package, but that's contingent on the parties being completely agreed to the terms of the divorce. My rate for a divorce with kids is $1,000 currently for an agreed divorce. These do not include the court filing fees, which in Nashville, Davidson County, are in the neighborhood of $200. Slightly more than that with kids, slightly less actually without kids. If it's contested, then I charge a non-refundable retainer, which is applied against my hours. My current hourly rate is $250 an hour. My current contested divorce is $2,500. If the matter has to go all the way through trial, then the person will be looking at a much higher hourly charges eventually. Hopefully, it will settle towards the early stages of the litigation process. It really just depends. So it's hard to say with a contested divorce what the total price is going to be. $2,500 could get it done, or it could be substantially more than that, depending on how long the litigation gets drawn out. So that's the first question that I get, and some of the contingencies that I evaluate in trying to answer that question. The second thing is, how long is it going to take? Typically, what I tell people with an agreed divorce is 3 to 6 months. An agreed divorce without kids can go as quickly as within 60 days, or shortly after 60 days, I should say. There's a mandatory statutory waiting period in Tennessee of 60 days after the complaint is filed without kids. If there are kids, then the mandatory minimum is a 90-day waiting period. This is for an agreed divorce. So, best case scenario without kids, it's going to be about 2 months. However, usually it takes some time to prepare the initial documents and actually file them. There are signatures that are needed in front of a notary. Sometimes there's additional information that needs to be gathered after the initial meeting, and it can take time once the final hearing can be set for it to actually be set, depending on the court's schedule. So I tell people with an agreed divorce to expect 3 to 6 months. With a contested divorce, it can be a year. It can take years, although generally, hopefully, it'll be wrapped up within about a year. It's harder to predict. It really depends. It depends how quickly the parties can settle, or if a trial is needed, and then it's going to depend on the court's docket. But it can be a long and drawn out process. This is Undercover Legal with attorney Sean R. Richardson. Today's Undercover Legal topic was divorce. 615-945-2900 is the number for Law Office Nashville, PLLC. I look forward to hearing from you soon.